Good morning, boys and girls. Hi.
Mr. Jake, what's wrong?
I am so tired. It's Monday, you know.
It is Monday. Didn't you have any coffee or anything?
No, man, look. Let me just put it this way to you. Monday's got me feeling like this.
So everything that I do on Monday just feels like it's really slow. I can't believe it. I mean, the kids are slow sometimes on Mondays. I'm always really slow on Monday. I do everything very slowly on Monday.
Why don't you just have some coffee, Mr. Jake? I had some coffee this morning and I feel great. Look at me. I'm doing awesome. I have coffee every morning. I love coffee. Why don't you have any coffee, man?
Okay. Let me try. Yeah, okay. Let's give this a shot.
Isn't it great, Mr. Jake? Don't you love the coffee? Isn't it super great? I love coffee so much.
You know, I really am starting to feel a little better.
Me too. I feel great.
Now I'm starting to feel even better.
Awesome, Mr. Jake. Oh, man. Wow, I'm getting there. Okay.
Okay. I feel back to normal. Let's go ahead and get started.
Let's do it.
Good morning, boys and girls. I'm Mr. Jake.
And I'm Mr. Chris.
We're co-teaching.
And you're co-learning.
Welcome to COVIdeo
19.
Let's get started.
Item number 1, health tip. Eating healthy food.
For healthy food, try things like fruits, vegetables, healthy proteins, and healthy carbs.
Try to avoid eating too much junk food like Doritos, Oreos, and drinking too much chocolate milk will leave you feeling lousy, so make sure you be careful what you eat.
Item number 2, helping in the house. Removing the trash.
Bad idea. Eating your trash to get rid of it.
It's good stuff.
Ew, Mr. Jake. That's disgusting.
Good idea. Use a trash bag to collect your trash. When it's full, take it out. Well done, Mr. Chris.
Item number 3, math and language arts. Today me and Mr. Jake are going to show you how you can add and subtract fractions with unlike denominators. Ooh.
It's going to be some good stuff. We're going to make sure your fractions are broken into the same amount of pieces. Mr. Chris, I have 2 fractions here. Could you tell me how much is this right here and how much is this right here?
Well, I see this is 1 out of 8 parts. We call that 1/8. Plus, this time these are still 8s, but there's 3 of them, so this would be 3/8. You want me to add those together, Mr. Jake?
Yeah, go ahead and add them. 1/8 plus 3/8.
Okay, well, 1 plus 3 is 4, and 8 plus 8 is 16, so 4/16, right?
Whoa, Mr. Chris, slow down. This is a really common mistake I see a lot of 4th graders make. Look at our pieces here. How many pieces are they broken into?
Well, each hole is broken into 8 pieces, Mr. Jake.
Very good. Mr. Chris, what you did was by adding your denominators, that means that you broke our holes into more pieces. That's not something that we want to do. So whenever we add our fractions, we add our numerators, the numbers on top, But we do not add our denominators because that would be breaking our whole into more pieces. That's just not something we're doing. So Mr. Chris, give it a try one more time. See if you can get it right.
Okay, that makes sense, Mr. Jake. So there's still 4 parts that are shaded in, but we didn't break these up anymore. These are still 8ths. So 1/8 plus 3/8 equals 4/8.
Mr. Chris, bonus if you can give me an equivalent fraction of 4/8.
Ooh. Okay, well, I know that each of these numbers are divisible by 2, and when I imagine what 4/8 looks like, it would have half of the whole.
Well done,
Shaded
Mr.
in.
Chris. If you divide 4 by 4, you get 1. And if you divide 8 by the same number, 4, you get 2. Nice, Mr. Chris. Excellent work.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Chris. Nice job on that last fraction problem. Here's a tougher one. Can you add 2/3 plus 1/2?
Ooh, Mr. Jake, I don't know. The denominators are different. This whole is broken into 3 parts and this one's broken into 2 parts. I don't think I can add those.
You're right. When the denominators are broken into different parts, you're definitely not ready to add. But Mr. Chris, I got a solution for you. I'm going to break this 2/3 into more pieces and this 1/2 into more pieces. Basically, I'm going to make sure that these are broken into the same amount of pieces. Watch this. This thirds, I'm going to break it into twice as many pieces. And now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Out of those 6, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. So now I have 4/6 instead of 2/3. But this one, it's still not broken into 6. Well, if I break this into 3 times as many pieces, then I will have 6ths. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Out of those 6 pieces, I have 1, 2, 3 of them. Remember that you can cross multiply your denominators to make new denominators. In this case, I took 3 times 2 and I got 6 for both of my denominators. Also, don't forget to cross multiply. Over here, I took 2 times 2 and I got 4. You see how I started at the bottom and I ended on the top left? That's why I put my 4 on the top left over here instead of on the right. Then, over here, I cross again, starting from the bottom, going to the top, and I do 3 times 1. 3 times 1 is 3. Mr. Chris, I think you're ready to solve this.
Oh yeah, now that the denominators are the same, I can see 4/6 plus 3/6 is going to equal 7/6.
Fantastic, Mr. Chris. 7/6.
Wait a minute, Mr. Jake. I'm noticing the numerator is bigger than the denominator. Can we do that?
Oh yeah, we can definitely do that. We call this right here an improper fraction. I-M-P-R-O-P-E-R, fraction. But that's not all, Mr. Chris. Check this out. I know that I need 6 pieces to make a whole, right? And I have enough, so I could also have 1 whole and 1/6 left over. This one we call a mixed number.
Whoa, Mr. Jake. This stuff is really tricky. You think we can keep practicing this?
Oh, for sure, man. We got this. Item number 4, specials and extras. You know, Mr. Chris, I got into Power Learning and I saw what Miss Ruth had. I even drew the picture, I tore it apart, and you know, it got me thinking. I did something wrong that I need to make right with you. What'd you do? I played your cajon without asking. So sorry. I won't ever do it again, I promise.
It's okay, Mr. Jake. I accept your apology.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
You know what?
But no,
Hey, there you go. You know what, Mr. Jake? I have something to apologize to you as well. You know, the other day I was talking to Mr. Aaron, and I just want to say, I'm sorry for telling him that your mustache was so weak.
Thanks. That feels good.
Your mustache is looking great, bud.
Thanks. I mean, I'll never be where you are, but I can dream.
Item number 5, forecast. Today calls for a high of 27 degrees Celsius and a low of 13. There should be some sun and a small chance of thunderstorms later in the day. Sounds like last week.
I'm sensing a pattern here. Item number 6, the laugh of the day. Mr. Chris, why don't seagulls fly over the bay?
I don't know. Why?
Because if they flew over the bay, they would be bagels instead of seagulls.
Nice one.
Yeah.
Item number 7, energy fact of the day. Did you know lighting currently accounts for about 20% of U.S. electricity consumption?
20%.
That's a lot.
Man, as a fraction, that's 1/5. Item number 8, inspiration of the day. A candle shines best in the darkness, so be a light to those around you. Be bright. Thanks for watching. I'm Mr. Jake.
And I'm Mr. Chris.
We are COVIdeo.
19.
Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you tomorrow.
See y'all.